Well, the economy will see a slight pickup in activity today, with more than 1.5 million people returning to work as the lockdown restrictions ease. But the livelihoods of millions of others who don't qualify to work under COVID-19 lockdown restrictions hangs in the balance. Well, ENCA's Devin Murugan looks at what the restrictions mean for the country's economic future.
5-week lockdown, the highway begins to breathe again. Only a fraction of the traffic carrying either essential workers or those individuals in industries permitted to reopen. But this is an economy that requires extensive human movement to significantly reactivate, something that COVID-19 prevention measures won't allow for immediately. Treasury says the impact on economic contraction can be anything between 5 to 12% for 2020, much higher if restrictions remain in place for longer. In its worst-case scenario of a slow economic recovery, Treasury says more than 7 million people could lose their jobs as a result of COVID-19. A quick recovery will still see 3 million job losses. The Centre for Development and Enterprises and Bernstein says there's no room for political party ideology now.
Decisive leadership the President has shown, his ability to step up and lead the entire country in a very difficult situation, is exactly the kind of courage and decisiveness that he has to show on the economy.
One economist says we must get as many people as possible back to work.
And so there's certainly a call for employers to look at ways in which they sweat their human capital assets to increase their own productivity, as well as to keep those workers in economic activity. There's certainly an opportunity also for government to accelerate the capacity building programs from a manufacturing point of view.
As government reprioritizes the 130 billion rand in its budget and reaches out for 95 billion rand more from international lenders, it expects tax revenue to decline by a third. Perhaps the biggest challenge is helping the millions of increasingly desperate South Africans now relying on government to carry out its social obligations. Devin Murugan, Johannesburg.